we begin where we left yesterday, where we were waiting to see if the deal would go through. They split the baby on the money, $2.5 million. Mr. T tells me that he knew about the money the whole time. That was not true, that they hadn't read the contract, but they knew the money was there. They were debating it the whole time. So he says, that's what he told me today, that we knew the money we owed. We just didn't feel we had to pay it. They debated it. They split the baby. They gave him $2.5 of the $5 million. That was that part of the deal. So now Tebow is here. And listen, there is great division about Tebow and efficiency on the field. We can debate that. There are people who like the idea of the Wildcat package, despite the fact the Wildcat has been rendered obsolete in the league. Now, since we've seen it, it has now virtually been rendered obsolete. There are people who like the idea of having a player who can bring a different look, although to me the idea is to have one very good offense, not multiple offenses. But what you can't debate, let's just first take the part of this that you cannot debate. The part of this that you cannot debate is the Jets are coming off a year where, by their own admission, the team was a mess. The coach admitted he lost the team. The coach admitted he was tone deaf to what was going on in the locker room. The team was dysfunctional. They were sniping at the quarterback. There was a mess. You had veteran players call it the worst locker room they were ever in. It was called everything from selfish to toxic. There were a lot of things that had to be patched up. On top of that, the quarterback had to deal with the flirtation for Peyton Manning, which was clear despite their protest that it didn't happen. We all know it did. That's fine. They gave him a contract that added a little more guaranteed money, took back some salary cap space, and also let him save face publicly. On top of that, they went out and got Stanton to be the backup quarterback. Now he wants out completely because on top of that, they go and bring in Tebow. Now, before we get back to debate the X's and O's and the strategy part of this, what you cannot debate is this is a dysfunctional team that has a lot of mending to do, that needs a lot of direction and leadership, which has to patch up a lot of relationships. And on top of that, you are going to bring in a backup quarterback who is infinitely more popular and infinitely more famous than the starting quarterback. When you have a system, when you have a team where the backup quarterback is a much bigger star than the starting quarterback, who is a young man trying to find his way, you have a mess. There's no way around it. You think Tebow's coming here just to be a role player at his age? You think Tebow's coming to New York City, a guy who has spent his life winning championships and Heisman trophies? You think he's coming here to be a backup? And he's going to accept, well, Tebow accepts his role. Who says he does? And let me ask you something. Why would he? If you're Tebow, why would you accept that you're going to be the backup quarterback? Tebow went to Denver as the fourth stringer. Within a couple of months, he was a starter. So why would you accept that? And here's the other part of this. You have a quarterback who has got to mend relationships, get back the faith and belief from everybody in that organization and the fan base and the media. And on top of that, he's got to deal with a guy he's going to be asked about every day after practice. It's going to be a sideshow every day after practice. There are going to be people there who just go there to see if the backup quarterback is going to be part of the offense. Questions every day to the starting quarterback, to the coaches, to everybody about the backup quarterback. Why? Because the backup quarterback has a national following, is an iconic figure in some places, and is one of the more famous athletes in America. And it has nothing to do with his playing ability. So you create an incredibly dysfunctional atmosphere just by his presence. And the Jets will say, oh, we can manage that. We can manage that. They're the same Jets who told you we could bring in any player and manage them. How did that work out? How did that work out last year? When by the end of the year they had, by their own admission, the most toxic locker room that many veterans had ever seen. You've already had guys on this team call this ridiculous, taking 4 steps backwards, and disgusting. This is guys on the team. This is how you build a unified ball club? Coming off a terrible year? No, you know what this is? This is a way when you did nothing right last year, when you looked like total failures, where you embarrassed yourselves and became a laughingstock because of your pronouncements, because of what you said about the Giants, because of what you said about the Giants leading up to the Giant game. And then watch the Giants go off and win their 2nd Super Bowl in 4 years. In a town where, yes, they do compete economically for luxury boxes, for PSL buyers, because you know what? Both teams are looking for some PSL buyers. The Jets a lot more than the Giants, but they both have good seats for sale. They both have had good seats for sale since they moved into that new building. Anyone tells you they don't isn't paying attention. Go on a Jet website right now and see if you can buy a Jet ticket. You can buy plenty of them.